Hello guys, today we're looking inside my fridge. Wow, look at that guys. So yeah, let's go over a little fridge tour. Let's see what we're working with here. So, the blue capped milk is raw goat's milk. And then over here we have a few other types of raw goat's milk. I don't know the difference, but yeah, this is all raw goat's milk and I'll be drinking a lot of that. That's amazing. It's of course it's already A2 because every goat is A2.
A2 is easier to digest, by the way, compared to A1.
Only cows have had that mutation to have A1. Let's see what else we got going on. We have some raw lamb. Maybe no, it's local from Bali. Some raw cream. This is raw goat's cream. So this is just goat and lamb basically. But this is insane, dude. This cream, I had it with some honey and mango and strawberries. Oh, it's just a dessert. It's insane. What else do we have? More lamb meat, raw honey. The honey here, it tastes nothing like from America. It's actually crazy. We have some raw,
So raw meat, saturated fat, and sugar so far.
I believe, cow butter. Here we go.
Pure saturated fat. I'm going to comment more on that later.
Then we have some some slop, kind of, not really, but it is like packaged, I suppose. We have some
So far, the other things were slop as well, so nothing new.
strawberry guava jam and some mango jam. And all it really is just fruit and sugar. So,
Why? You already have honey, which is sugar. Why do you have even more sugar?
yeah, pretty nice. You can kind of put that on some.
By the way, don't fall for the idea that if something is packaged, that it's slop. Because packaged stuff can be healthier than, stuff that is not packaged. It just depends on which foods you're talking about. But yeah, this is not healthy, obviously. It's just half fruit, half sugar.
Even if you have like seared meat, even raw meat dishes, you can put it in the cream. There's just kind of a nice little way to get some carbs in that are also good. And we'll check up here. We have some, not much. I have to go shopping, honestly. Some frozen berries. And then,
Okay, that's good.
oh my God, what do we have over here? What could this be? Oh no. Chocolate. That's right, guys, chocolate. And chocolate is actually fundamentally not bad at all. It's
False. It's 65%. It's pretty low. Probably around half of that is sugar. And I'm not saying you should eat healthy 100% of the time. I'm just saying that he is saying that it's not bad, and I'm saying it is.
let's actually look at what's in here. We have 3 ingredients. We have cacao beans.
Just because something has a low amount of ingredients doesn't make it healthy. You can buy hydrogenated oils. It's one ingredient, but it's still super unhealthy.
Palm sugar, and cacao butter. 3 ingredients. So all this really is just saturated fat and sugar.
Yeah, terrible.
Because cacao butter is very saturated, even more saturated than grain-fed beef. It's around 2% PUFA. Grain-fed beef, for context, is 4%.
And how is that a good thing? I mean, I get it. He is rationalizing with the theory that saturated fats, they are more resistant against lipid peroxidation because you have 0 double bonds connecting in between carbon atoms in the chemical chain. But that's just in theory. What happens in practice is saturated fat increases inflammation, increases LDL cholesterol, it disrupts lipid balance, and it's not considered an essential fat because your body can produce enough on its own with other precursors. So in theory, it would make sense because saturated fat is more stable. You want food to oxidize in your body, not before you eat it, obviously. And saturated fat is not going to oxidize because it has no double bonds. But monounsaturated fats, they are also extremely resistant to lipid peroxidation. So for example, extra virgin olive oil, it's not going to oxidize before you eat it, especially if it's in a dark glass bottle. You're not going to have that problem. There's a big difference between theory and practice. And when we look at outcomes, we should actually try to minimize saturated fat intake. And so far, his diet is extremely high in saturated fat. So I wouldn't be surprised if his LDL cholesterol is extremely high as well.
So in terms of, this is really just, this is kind of like how coconut oil or, honey, these are kind of just substrates we can use for energy. This is just fat and sugar. Good sources of fat.
You can use that logic for junk food. Your body's going to oxidize it anyway, but just because you can utilize something for energy doesn't mean that it's optimal for health.
Saturated, monounsaturated fat, and sugar. Local, that's all it is. It's something you can implement. Of course, it's not as good as raw butter, because this actually has
Local is also overrated. Like, you may have less preservatives and stuff like that, but that's not what's making you unhealthy. It's way better to eat fruit from the other side of the planet than it is to eat white sugar that is local.
the fat soluble vitamins, which is great.
No, not many. For example, if you add butter into Chronometer, which tracks your macronutrients, it doesn't have much of anything. It will have sodium, it will have vitamin A, but not much of anything else. It will have a bunch of cholesterol and saturated fat, which are not essential because your body can produce it on its own with other precursors. So it's just empty calories. It's junk food. It's glorified junk food. So it's pure fat. It's pure saturated fat, which is not even essential anyway.
Implement. Yeah, that's what's in my fridge. I think today we'll probably have 2 liters of the milk. I've already had some of the meat. I'll probably go get some ripe fruits here in Bali, some mango, dragon fruit, rambutan. Those are amazing fruits. Maybe I'll make some raw cream with honey and fruit because I've already had a lot of protein. Maybe, we'll get some raw yogurt, put some chocolate and honey in there, some mixed berries. Yeah, man. I mean, this is the way to eat. This is the way to
Terrible.
eat. And yeah, you can kind of incorporate some other foods for fun, like, macadamia nuts.
The only thing that I think is a good idea is the fruit. Everything else is just saturated fat, cholesterol, sugar. That's his entire diet, apparently.
If you tolerate them, they're very low PUFA. Chocolate is not bad at all, but you always want to nail the fundamentals. Also I have raw honey up here, by the way. You want to have the raw milk, the raw meat. And yeah, guys, that's what's in my fridge. I'll show you more if I add more. Thank you guys for watching.
But yeah, honestly, really, really bad diet. A bunch of sugar for no reason. The fruit is a positive, but that's the only positive that I can think of when it comes to this diet. So yeah, not the biggest fan. This is almost the opposite of what I try to promote. But yeah, I guess that was it.